Well, hello, Dutch Bros. How is everybody doing? We are here today with Seth Godin. Seth, thanks for hanging out with us.
Live in Cleveland.
I know, right?
People say trash about Cleveland, but look.
How would you describe who is Seth Godin for somebody who's never heard of you?
Let's see. I invented part of the internet in the 1990s. If you've ever gotten email from a company, it's because I invented permission marketing. Built a company, I sold it to Yahoo. I've written 18 books about how ideas spread, about treating people with respect, about how the world works today. And so I'm a teacher now. A
lot of our people are at an age where it's life now. You know, I'm not
Welcome
in school.
To the real world.
And now all of a sudden it's time to make decisions. It's time to think outside of the box or to get creative. What's some kind of advice that you'd have on how to even go about that?
Well, two pieces of advice. The first one is ignore advice. The second one is that you've been lied to for a really long time. That school is a scam that teaches people to be compliant, that tells you to only listen to things that are on the test, encourages you to do the minimum amount, because whatever you can get away with, the rest of the time's yours. That's what we teach you in school. We invented that so that you would get a factory job and do what you were told, because factories needed it, so that's why they invented school. And the brilliant insight that changes everything for people is realizing that responsibility is never given, it's taken. And that if you choose to take responsibility, all these doors open up, and that you get a totally different life in exchange. Because striving for authority, hoping that someone will give you a license to tell other people what to do, that's pretty rare. But if you're willing to take responsibility, then no one can get in your way.
You went to school, you went through all these things. Was there certain points that kind of just triggered this, wait a minute, moments?
Yeah, I mean, a good way to think about it is, I don't know who invented water, but it probably wasn't a fish. Right? I don't think I'm that different than most people. I just had a few really lucky moments that I took advantage of. And when I was in college, one of those moments hit, and I got to co-found a little business that ended up becoming a snack bar and a ticket bureau and a bagel delivery service and a birthday cake service and a laundry service and a travel agency. And every week we started something new. It was semi-related to the college, so we got to use their payroll system, and in exchange we didn't get to keep any of the money. Right? So it was great because I get to explore all this stuff without the stress of saying, well, what if it doesn't work? Because I already didn't have anything, right? And a couple weeks into it, I started to look at things and say, you mean I could just go and start a new thing and no one could tell me not to? And my roommates didn't understand that, and the people on my hall didn't understand that, and my teacher. And as soon as that happened, I stopped trying to get good grades in school because no one was ever going to look at my grades anyway. I started taking as many courses as I could because it's the same price to take 6 instead of 4. So go ahead. And it just adopted this new posture, which is, how do I do things for the people I'm trying to serve? How do I make interesting things happen? Because it's not a race or a contest, it's a journey. You know, and I live in New York now, and one of the saddest things was to watch the tourists go to Olive Garden. Why would you go to New York City and then eat at the Olive Garden? What is that about? And what it's about is because you like the regular kind, because you don't want to be surprised, because you want to do the safe thing. Well, if that's what you want, then don't be a tourist. Stay home. And I think the same thing's true about work. Like, if you want a job where someone's going to tell you what to do, then go work for a different fast food place. Go work for a place, you know, where they're just going to give you a manual. But if you want a gig where you can put on a show and be a different kind of human being because you can, there aren't many companies like Dutch Bros that have figured out how to let someone do that.
How do you get this creativity that's inside you, or these ideas and these thoughts of how to change it? My dad used to say something to me all the time when I was younger. He'd be like, Brant, I don't care what you do, just do it. You know, and he's like, just go. You know, it doesn't matter to me what you're doing as long as you're actually doing something. It's an easy thing to say, you know, it's like, hey, just go for it.
Let me say it in a way that's not easy.
Yes.
That's honest, all right? You're probably going to fail. The stuff you do is probably going to suck. You're probably going to get in trouble. It's probably not going to work. Are you okay with that? Because if you're not okay with that, well, then that's why you're having trouble getting your ideas out there. That's why you're having trouble integrating other people into the team. That's why you're having trouble doing X, Y, and Z, because you aren't okay with it not working. So you're waiting for the thing that's sure to work. But the thing that's sure to work isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And if it is, someone's going to do it instead of you. So all that's left are the things that are probably not going to work.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you were 4, you told a joke that was funny. And when you were 8, you did a drawing that was interesting.
Yeah.
And when you were 14, you had a conversation with someone that was truly human. You're capable of it. That's not the question. Everybody who's watching this has written one intelligent sentence.
Yeah.
I've just written more than one. But it's a matter of quantity, not ability.
Yeah.
So where does the quantity come from? The quantity comes from being willing to be wrong, being willing to be made fun of, being willing to be embarrassed, being willing to fail. It never gets easier. It never gets fun, ever. Okay, fine. And gravity also sucks. If we didn't have gravity, we could fly.
Yeah.
So there's gravity. But we don't whine about gravity. We just acknowledge that there's gravity and we walk anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I think the same thing is true about the art that we make, the difference that we make. A customer comes in every day, and the 5th day they come in, and it looks like they've been crying. It is not your job to say to them, is everything okay, and give them a hug. But if you did that, what would happen? Right? It might not work. They might get really angry with you. It's none of your business. But it also might change their life. You could sign up for that or not. And that's what freedom looks like. And that's why freedom is so scary. Because freedom doesn't come with a dummies book, and freedom doesn't come with a permit, and freedom doesn't come with an excuse. You have to own it, and it probably isn't going to work. You know, I've written 7,000 blog posts, and half of them were below average. I just didn't know which ones were below average until after I wrote them.
You talked about breaking habits, or not necessarily breaking habits, but, you know, just the things we've been conditioned to kind of. So now, you know, as time's gone on, how do you identify in your own self creating the new condition?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Well, you know, so I have a giant problem, which is I have this thing in my pocket that's constantly bothering me. And at the end of the day, if I touch it enough times, I feel like I've been productive.
Right.
Right? Like, I can clear 150, 300 emails in a day.
Yeah.
What'd you do today? Well, it's not angry at me anymore. That's what I did today. So if I do a day like that, I have failed because I didn't do anything risky.
Yeah.
Right? All I did was make sure the boat kept moving.
Yeah.
And I have to do that sometimes because I don't have a big team.
Yeah.
But that's not a successful day. A successful day is there's no Wi-Fi on the plane for 10 hours. I better do something. I better do something that scares me because that's my work. That's my craft. I better write things that other people aren't going to like or understand. I better describe an alternative way of being that I'm not even sure is true until I try it on.
Yeah.
Right? That's my work. That's not everybody's work. That's my work. Then there are other people, you know, a psychotherapist. Well, you're going to do what Freud did every day for the rest of your life, or you're going to try a different way to get someone to understand you. The short version is, would they miss you if you were gone?
Yeah.
Right? So the thousands and thousands of people work at Dutch Bros. If 400 of them didn't show up for work next month, how long would it take us to forget them? Well, some people, it would take a decade, 2 decades. Some people, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right? How do you become the person we would miss if you were gone?
Yeah. Thank you for taking some time to just sit with us and do this in this beautiful place.
It's amazing.
If there was just one little nugget that you could give our broistas,
I would say that the antidote for fear is generosity. That if you find yourself doing things for other people, sooner or later you're going to forget how afraid you are.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's Seth Godin. He's got a lot of books out there. My favorite is Tribes, by the way. That's my book. It's just awesome.
And if you're not a reader, just type Seth into Google. There's plenty of videos and even things with pictures.
Yeah, awesome. And so we hope that you guys, don't conform to the norm. Get a little crazy, get a little wild, and forget your fears, or at least try to, because tell you what, there's a whole lot of life to live out there.
Bingo. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.